Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So today our lesson number 12. Lesson number 12. So before we start our lessons, let's pay homage to the Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Okay. We are talking about Kamavachra Kusala Chetas. Since we are wholesome consciousness, so we are talking about Kusala Chetas. Kusala Chetas or wholesome Chetas. When we are doing good things, when we are doing dana, when we are observing sila, observing precept, and when we are meditating, so these Kusala Chetas can arise. So wherever good deed you are doing, so when you are doing good things, so Kusala Chetas will arise. So we have 8 type of Kusala Chetas. We call it Mahakusala. Mahakusala. Since we are wholesome consciousness. So Kamavachra Kusala Chetas are divided into 8 types on the basis of 3 principles. So we have to take note 3 principles. So if you know 3 principles, then it's not difficult to remember all these 8. So when we are doing good things, when we are doing good deed, we can look at our mind. So based on 3 principles. So number 1, the feeling. Sometimes when we are doing good things, we feel happily. We do it happily. That's accompanied by joy. Sometimes when we are doing good things without any joy, just normal. Sometimes when I'm teaching, accompanied by joy, accompanied by equanimity. It can be both. Suppose if I'm happy, accompanied by joy. If I am doing as a Buddhist monk, if I'm doing my duty, then just normal mind, accompanied by equanimity. So it can be both. It can be both all the time. It can be sometimes accompanied by joy, sometimes accompanied by equanimity. So here, equanimity here doesn't mean without happiness doesn't mean no good. Doesn't mean no good. Sometimes we are doing good things because we are used to it. We are all the time doing good things. So for that, I want to say, it became just like a normal routine. So for that reason, it can be accompanied by equanimity. Stay good deed, but not accompanied by joy. Also, sometimes when you're doing dana, sometimes accompanied by joy, you're very happy to do that. Sometimes you do dana because if you are doing just normal things. Right now, our temple is collecting katina ropes. So some people will come to temple and they will offer katina rope very happily with a happy mind, accompanied by joy. But some people may do because this is a annual event, annual dana, then they must do it because it is annual, if they are doing as the annual dana. So even though not accompanied by joy, but you're doing good things, you're doing good deed, accompanied by equanimity. So, so regarding with the feeling, I think we can look at our mind. Only two types. Sometimes accompanied by joy, sometimes accompanied by equanimity. So do not think that only if we are happy while we are doing, it will be better. Do not think like this. So there are many occasions that even though we are doing without any happiness or any joy in our mind, that is sometimes a very stable state of mind. Suppose someone is making a lot of annoying things in your office. You know it is annoying, but you trying to control your mind. You trying to tolerate those annoying things. You practice patience. So the moment you are practicing patience, not accompanied by joy, but accompanied by equanimity. So by that occasion, kusala chaitas. So in that case, actually such patience or tolerance is much more higher than doing dana. Doing dana is easier than practicing patience. So it depends on conditions. Sometimes we do good things. We do kusala karma happily. So that way generate how to say a happy conditions or pleasant conditions. Sometimes we may do good things without any joy, with the equanimate mind, but it will generate, mostly it will generate for, how to say then, here equanimity, it can be, it can be two type. Normal equanimity and spiritual equanimity. So when we practice loving kindness and compassion toward all sentient beings, it is considered as the same kusala chaitas, accompanied by spiritual equanimity, not accompanied by joy. So sometimes you do kusala karma, you do wholesome things, not because your own accord, but because somebody tell you to do. Then without any joy or feeling in your mind, you do it, accompanied by equanimity. So the degree of equanimity, it can be different. Sometimes in normal equanimity is lower than joy or feeling. Some equanimous feeling is even higher than joy or feeling. Just like practicing equanimous feeling toward all sentient beings, toward your family, toward your friends. Actually, practicing equanimous feeling is not easy. No, need to control our mind, not to not to move because of pleasant or unpleasant things. So it can be two types. Normal equanimity, it is lower than joy feeling. But spiritual equanimity, practicing spiritual equanimity is higher than joy feeling. doing good deed with the joy of feeling. So it can be two. So you can look at your mind. You can look at your mind. Another one is present or absence of knowledge. Present or absence of knowledge. If you are doing good things, hosankama, knowingly this is good thing, using your wisdom, then you do it. That is presence of knowledge, accompanied by, associated with the knowledge, associated with the knowledge. Sometimes you see suffering people, right away, compassion arises without thinking anything, right? Then such type of compassion can be called absence of knowledge, without thinking, right away. Some people are generous. When they think that some places and somebody is needy, right away will give away. So we can call it, if their response is right away without using any wisdom, we can call it unconscious mind, unconsciously, because they are used to generosity in their mind. For that reason, so without thinking anything too much, then they will decide the right way will give away. Maybe we can call it absence of knowledge. Absence of knowledge. So some people are very, very pure mind, and also they have a very beautiful mind. Even they encounter unpleasant things, unpleasant sounds, unpleasant experience, because of their gene, or genetically their mind is beautiful. So even though they encounter unpleasant thing in their life, but they can control their mind right away without thinking anything. So they don't need to think anything. So by that time we can say absence of knowledge. Later I will give you some of the example. Actually, this one is a little bit tricky. So if you do not understand, so you will understand the teachings of Abhidhamma. So this one is a little bit different from the Sutta Pitaka. A little bit different from Sutta Pitaka. So I will come to that later. Another one is, we have already learned the degree of volition and energy, prompted or unprompted. So some people have a lot of motivation when they are doing good things. So some people make a lot of effort to do good things. That is called unprompted. So if you have less motivation and less energy, less effort to do good things, that can be called prompted. So it is better to understand in such a way. Sometimes the Abhidhamma lesson start 4:30. So you are still thinking whether you should attend Abhidhamma lessons or not. You feel lazy. You feel lazy. You are staying alone. Then finally, you trying to encourage to yourself. Oh, I must do it. I must learn it. Otherwise, I will not be able to catch up with my lessons. So making a lot of, you need to make a lot of effort by yourself. Then you come up from your, you attended the class. Then your mind is not so much alert. but you still have how to say, your degree of your mind, the motivation of your mind to learn the Dharma is not so strong, not so strong, and you need to make a lot of effort to come, to attend the class. So by that time, we can say that prompted. So you have to prompt to yourself. You have to ask to yourself, even though nobody tell you to sit down in the class, but you have to make a lot of, how to say, you need to drive yourself to do it. Then we can call it prompted. So if you are learning the Dharma with the full of motivation and full of effort, then we can call it unprompted. So it depends on the degree of motivation and effort. The same thing. So when you are doing dharana, when you are keeping precept, so when you are rendering your service to do good things, and also when you are doing meditation, if you are doing full of motivation and full of effort, that can be called unprompted. Less effort and less motivation, prompted. Sometimes there are occasions that we need to make extra. So we feel very lazy. We feel very lazy to do to do good things. So we are not so eager or enthusiastic. Then we, as a duty, or then you try your best to do it, even though you don't have a much enthusiastic in it. So such one can be called prompted. So when you want to do good things, kusala karma, and you can look at 3 principles, whether your mind is accompanied by joy or accompanied by equanimity. Whether your mind is associated with knowledge or dissociated from knowledge. So later I will explain the definition of knowledge. Whether you're doing full of motivation or volition or full of effort. So whether you are doing with the prompted mind or unprompted mind, you can observe yourself wherever you do good things. So these are 3 principles. So now we are talking about kusala chaitas, maha kusala chaitas. They arise in the worldlings, the Puthojana, and trainees. Trainees mean sikha. So here, sikha means the one who underwent trainings, who need to train, who need to learn. It's called sikha. So they are stream entera, one's ratana, sakatagami, non-ratana, anagami. So they are called sikha or trainees. Arahant is called asika. No need training. The one who need training, because he already removed all his defilements in his mind. So he do not need any training. For that reason, it's called asika. But here, kama vachara. Actually, in these chapters, we will use some Pali words. Actually, they are very similar. If you know a different one, it's easier to remember. The next chapters, we will learn in English. Most of the time we'll learn in English, but only here. So these kama vachara chaitas, kusala chaitas, arise in the worldlings, Puthojana, and trainees. Trainee here me, stream entera, one's retainer and non-retainer. Whenever they perform wholesome bodily deeds and wholesome verbal deeds. So when they are doing good things with their body, when they are speaking good things. So for that reason, even if you are smiling at to other people, that's considered as a good deed. Because of your smile, they feel very happy. And also when you're using pleasant speeches, you know, when you are when you have a pleasant looking to other people, that's also considered as a good deed. That's considered as a good deed. So here, probably good deed, for good deed. Of course, in Pali Canon, so we can summarize different type of good deeds into three: dana or giving, sila or moral conduct, and bhavana meditations. It can be added into three. Whenever they generate wholesome state of mind pertaining to the sense sphere. Sense sphere here means kama vachara. Kama vachara. So when state of mind which is connected with sense sphere, so so these kama vachara kusala chaitas will arise. So they arise in the minds of Puthojana and also the trainees. These chaitas do not arise in arahants, whose actions are without karmic potency. Whose actions are without karmic potency. Later we will learn that functional consciousness or kriya chaitas are the chaitas of arahants and the Buddha. So these kusala chaitas, mahakusala chaitas, will not arise in the arahants and in the Buddha because their mental state is functional mind, functional, not a wholesome. So the state of the Buddha and Arahant cannot be called as either wholesome or unwholesome. So their mental state is called functional or kriya. Up to now, any question? Any question up to now? If no question, let's continue. Eight kama vachara kusala chaitas. We also call mahakusala. Mahakusala. Actually, mahakusala is easier for us. Mahami greater. So we have eight type of wholesome chaitas. So actually, this is a greater number. For that reason, we call it Mahakusala. So the first one is one consciousness accompanied by joy, associated with the knowledge, unprompted. So this is a very strong mental state as far as how to say that in the Kama Vachara Chaita. So when we are doing good things, whether you do dana or whether you observe sila or whether you meditate, you do it accompanied by joy. So you are very happy to do that. Associated with the knowledge. So later we'll talk about it. What is knowledge? So knowledge here means jnana. Jnana sampayoga, associated with the knowledge. And unprompted. So nobody need to force you to do. You do it by yourself, full of motivation and full of energy. That's called unprompted. But here, associated with the knowledge. Associated with the knowledge. Jnana Samprayoga. So when you look at comprehensive meaning of Abhidhamma, page number 47, it said that knowledge comprehends things as they really are. As they really are. So here, knowledge here me is simply knowing things as they really are. So to make it very simple, akusala as akusala. You know akusala as akusala and kusala as kusala. So later I will give you the definition. Tawa jnana or knowledge refers to the mental factor or knowledge. Sorry, mental factor or wisdom. Panya Chitasika. In the next chapter, we will have to learn the factor of wisdom, which also represents non-delusion, amoha. So actually here, the jnana, knowledge, is the same as panya chetasika, the factors of mental factor of wisdom. And also it is the same as non-delusion. So actually we already learned what is delusion, what is non-delusion. So here, among the 8 Mahakusalas, Chaitas, so when we analyze according to the root, 4 wholesome Chaitas, Kusala Chaitas, associated with the knowledge. Among 8, 4 are associated with the knowledge, and the other 4 are dissociated from knowledge. But here, associated with the knowledge me, all 3 are associated with the knowledge me possess, when you are doing good things, possess all three wholesome root. So we have a 3 wholesome root: alobha, adosa, amoha. Of course, when you are doing good things, accompanied by 3 wholesome root, that will be the best. But here, sometimes we may do wholesome things automatically, without thinking, even without thinking what is, that is called 4 dissociated from knowledge, possess non-greed, non-hatred, but lack non-delusion. Sometimes as a baby, he will not know what is right or wrong, and he do something followed by parents. I want to say that according to instruction of the parents, he or so that the baby will do it. So such one were considered as a there's no knowledge of what is wrong and what is right, and he will follow instruction of the parents. Then he may do dana, and he will say good things, he will say good speeches, and even he meditate without knowing this is good. So such type of wholesome karmas are called dissociated from knowledge. He may do with the other wholesome root because of alobha, because of adosa, not because of amoha. So here, sometime we are doing good things without thinking this is good. Actually, when we are, I want to say that, especially in our daily routine. Suppose how to say, a person who is walking in a hotel as a receptionist, the one who have to welcome to the visitors, he will smile automatically, automatically. He will welcome the visitor without thinking anything. He will smile and he will say lovely speeches, welcoming speeches. Then such one, even without thinking, this is good, then that can be called because of alopa or because of adosa. Of course, here, because of adosa. Then that can be called with the two root. Suppose, how to say that there's hotel staff who wakens with the full of smile and with the lovely speeches, lovely manner, then without thinking, so it will make the visitor will feel very happy. Then accompanied by knowledge, so accompanied by wisdom. So these are called associated with the knowledge or dissociated with the knowledge. Sometimes we do good things, we do kusala karma associated with the knowledge. Sometimes we are so used to it that without thinking anything, we are automatically generating wholesome behavior. We are automatically doing wholesome things. That can be called dissociated from knowledge. Dissociated from knowledge. So regarding with the knowledge, jnana, following a definition of knowledge, actually in Pali is called jnana. The definition of knowledge or right view. Actually here, right view and knowledge are they the same. So I will give the definition of knowledge based on Samadhi Sutta. Actually, I have been talking about Samadhi Sutta for quite some time. So I think I want you to read Samadhi Sutta. This is the important sutta for us to understand what is the definition of knowledge and what is definition of right view. So by understanding right view, we understand wrong view. So the opposite of right view is called wrong view. So when I explain about delusion, then I use Samadhi Sutta. When I explain about wrong view, then I use Samadhi Sutta. Now, when I give the definition of knowledge or jnana, then I will use the same sutta again. Similar. They are similar. So according to Samadhi Sutta, the knowledge or jnana means the knowledge of wholesome and unwholesome deed. So if you know this is wholesome deed as a wholesome deed, that is called you are associated with the knowledge. Unwholesome actions as a unwholesome actions. Sometimes you refrain from unwholesome actions, knowing that this is not good. Then associated with knowledge. Associated with the knowledge. So if you are using unpleasant speeches, that is unwholesome. You know that using unpleasant speech is harmful to others and harmful to us. Thinking like this, you refrain from telling unpleasant speeches, using unpleasant speeches. Then that will be associated with knowledge. Some people, so they have a fear and they have, how to say, they have a conscious about using unpleasant speeches. So they are not using rough, unpleasant, unwelcoming speeches. Automatically, actually, it automated that they are not speaking because their mind, since they were born. They have to stay with their very kind and lovely parents. Their environment, very good that. So they dare not to speak unpleasant speeches. For them, it is automated, even without thinking, even without thinking, they will refrain from unwholesome speeches if occasion arises. Even somebody is insulting them, they will not respond with the unpleasant speeches. Actually, even though they do not know with their mind, this is wholesome, automatically they refrain from it because they learn from their parents, from their environment, and also their rebirth consciousness itself is very pure, very pure. It is automatic. Sometimes we can call it perfection or parami. In Bali, it's called parami or perfection. Some people are very too gentle since they was born. So when you observe a young baby, so they are so much different, so much difference. Even two brothers and two sisters, so they have a different mind because of river consciousness. So for them, even without thinking this is unwholesome, then they automatically they refrain from it. So in that occasion, they are doing how to say with the alopa adosa. But here, dissociated from knowledge. So this is according to Abhidhamma. And second one is the knowledge of the root of wholesome and unwholesome deed. The root of unwholesome and unwholesome deed. Here, so we already talk about 6 root. Lobha, dosa, moha are the root of unwholesome actions. That you know that what are the lobha, what are the dosa, and what are the moha. Knowing that, you are very mindful not to have all these negative mental states in your mind. And you also know that alabha, adosa, amoha, these are the root of wholesome actions. So actually, it's getting higher. Not just wholesome and unwholesome. You also know that the root of all these actions. So that is called the knowledge. The next one, the highest one is the knowledge of Four Noble Truths, of course. The knowledge of Four Noble Truths. So the knowledge of Four Noble Truths. So these are the definition of knowledge. So this is another definition. So I want to show, we are talking about Kamavachara Kusala Cheda. Since we are wholesome karma. We are not talking about supramundane one. We are not talking about Magga and Phala Cheda. So here, you should also know as a mundane knowledge and supramundane knowledge. So if you have a Magga Cheda and Phala Cheda, that is called supramundane. So we will have to learn later part. Here, we are talking about mundane knowledge. The first one is called Kama Sakata Samadhi. Kama Sakata Jnana. The knowledge of the idea of ownership for karma. All beings are owner of their own karma. Then if you experience unwholesome things in your life, then you observe and you see what you have done in the past, or because of these karma, then I encounter all these unpleasant experience. That is called the knowledge of the idea ownership of karma. You accept it. You are not complaining other people. Then if you experience good things in your life, then you know that this is because of my good deed in the past. And also some people get into trouble. Then you try to help them, knowing that all beings are owner of their own karma. You try your best to help them. If you cannot, then you have this knowledge, the knowledge of ownership of karma. So I try my best. That's all I can do. And some people became so rich. Some people became so successful, so popular. Then you congratulate. You feel very happy for them, knowing that this is their karma. They may have done good things in past life or this life. Because of that, they became so rich. They became so successful, so popular, so lovely. Then you know that you feel very happy in your mind. You have altruistic joy in your mind, knowing that all beings are owner of their own karma. Because of their effect, and because of their past karma, or because of their action right now in this life, they try hard. Because of that, then you accept the idea of ownership for karma. There's no jealousy in your mind, no jealous mind. So because of this one, the knowledge of the idea of ownership for karma. So if you have this knowledge, so regarding with accomplishment and success or other people, then you can congratulate. There's no place for jealous mind. So the knowledge of idea ownership for karma also very important. This is just a mundane knowledge. Another one is vipassana jnana. Vipassana means insight or wisdom. So the knowledge of insight, which investigate mind and matters in their true natures. Mind and matter, mental and physical phenomena, are subject to change, subject to impermanence. They are suffering and they are non-safe. So 3 characteristics: nature, dukkha, anatta. So if you understand the impermanence, suffering, and non-safe nature of mind and matters, before you attain magga and phala, that is called mundane knowledge. Sometimes by listening to the Dhamma talk, then you understand conceptually or intellectual, I will call it conceptual and intellectual understanding of the Four Noble Truths. You know that my body is impermanent. That is intellectual understanding. So that is called mundane knowledge. Five aggregate: my mind, my body, suffering, and non-safe. So if you have such type of understanding, that is called vipassana jnana, or the knowledge of insight. By listening the Dhamma, by reading the book, and even by practicing meditation, and you see mental and physical phenomena come and go, then you see that they are impermanent. So before you attain magga and phalaccheda, before you become sotapanna, it can be called the knowledge of insight. So such insight is called mundane knowledge. So we can invite mundane knowledge into two. Karma Sakata Jnana, the knowledge of the idea of ownership for karma. So the knowledge of karma, then you understand it and you accept it fully. You accept your karma, you accept the karma of other people. That is the knowledge of the idea of ownership for karma. The next one is Vipassana Jnana, the knowledge of insight. So conceptually and intellectually you understand nature, dukkha, anatta nature of mind and body. So that is called mundane knowledge, mundane knowledge. So all these are kusala karma, all these are kusala karma, wholesome karma. So for that reason, when you are meditating, before we become arahants, that is called kusala karma, kusala karma. Okay, so the first one is one consciousness, one kusala consciousness, accompanied by joy. So we feel very happy to do that, and associated with the knowledge, knowing that this is wholesome karma, knowing that you refrain from unwholesome actions, unwholesome things, knowing that this is unwholesome. So by that time, associated with the knowledge, unprompted, you make, if you are doing with full of motivation and effort without how to say the support of other people, then that is called unprompted. Unprompted. So the first citta is very powerful, very powerful. So when we are doing good things with the full of enthusiasm, so the first type of citta. So second one is unprompted. Unprompted is not very powerful, right? Not very powerful. Less motivation and less effort, but accompanied by joy. You stay to it with accompanied by joy, associated with the knowledge. And third one, and the fourth one, dissociated from knowledge. Sometimes the children may do without knowing this is good deed. So the activities or the actions of the children, it's called dissociated from knowledge. Dissociated from knowledge. And also even a theft, even old people, if they are doing some good things without thinking this is good, there are some occasions that can be called dissociated from knowledge. So we are so used to it, doing good things, then automatic. That's called dissociated from knowledge. Dissociated from knowledge. So here, I think, according to Abhidhamma, Chaitas dissociated from knowledge. Dissociated from knowledge lacks the factor of wisdom. So by that time, there's no wisdom, there's no knowledge. But it does not involve ignorance or delusion. So you might think that wisdom. Actually, normally we are saying that, okay, right? It's clear? Okay. Sometimes we are saying that delusion is the opposite of non-delusion. And delusion is, or delusion or ignorance is the opposite of wisdom. But here, Abhidhamma gave a one type of chaitas, dissociated from knowledge. Dissociated from knowledge. Without knowledge or without wisdom, we still do wholesome things. We still do wholesome things. As I earlier said that the children, small babies, they are doing good things. Without knowing, they are doing good things. Sometimes we are doing good things automatic, so compassionate that then we try to help them. And automatically we know that this is, we try to avoid it. We try to avoid unwholesome speeches. That is dissociated from knowledge. But by that time, according to Abhidhamma, no ignorance, no delusion, no delusion. So for some people, it might a little bit difficult to accept it. As a Buddhist monk, we are doing a lot of good things, thinking that this is good thing. Sometimes, sometimes so automated that we are doing. By that time, it can be called dissociated from knowledge. Dissociated from knowledge. So another one is accompanied by equanimity. So actually the other four accompanied by equanimity. The rest are the same. So the first one, accompanied by equanimity, associated with the knowledge and prompted. Associated with the knowledge, prompted. Dissociated from knowledge, and the other two. So especially the first four are accompanied by joy. You do happily with the joyful feeling. And the other four accompanied by equanimity. So we are doing without any joyful feeling. Here you can look at example, page number, this one is page number what? Where's my book? Where's my book? You can look at page number 48. Page number 48. So actually, we are talking about 8 Mahakusala Chaitas. Mahakusala Chaitas. So the first one, Bhikkhu Bodhi give examples. Someone joyfully perform a generous deed, understanding that this is a wholesome deed, spontaneously and without prompting by others. This is the first type of chaita, accompanied by joy, associated with knowledge, but here understanding that this is a wholesome deed. This is kusala karma. Spontaneously, so eager that full of motivation, full of effort, and without prompting. No one need to probe. And second one is prompted. Prompted here means after deliberation or prompting by another. Somebody force you to do. The number 3, someone joyfully perform a general deed without prompting, but without understanding this is a wholesome deed. Without understanding, just like a baby and without understanding or without knowledge, without thinking. This is Hosanti. Sometimes even adept people, even like us, without thinking this is Hosanti, then we do it. Number 4, someone joyfully perform a general deed without understanding, after deliberating or prompted by another. Somebody force you to do, and you need a lot of prompting by somebody. So that is called number 4. So number up to 5 to 8, accompanied by equanimity, without any trial feeling. So these are the examples. So when we are doing good things, when we are doing either dana or observing sila or meditating, we can look at our mind based on this 8 type. Whether you are doing joyous feeling or equanimous feeling, whether you are with the prompted mind or unprompted mind, whether it is accompanied associated with the knowledge, knowing that this is wholesome, knowing that this is unwholesome, or absence of knowledge. So if you look at your mind, then you can able to know what type of citta what you are doing. So this is a based on those mental state, based on these 8 type of mental state, you are doing wholesome things. You are doing kusala karma. Okay. Any question? No question up to now, right? If no question, let's continue. Oh, Bhante. Bhante Sumingala. Bhante?
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I hear you right now.
Uh, how can we watch the mind with the present mind, or with the past thing? You know, when we look at the thoughts, do we look the past thoughts or the present one?
Oh, Bhante, it is a series of mind process.
Yeah.
Rising in our mind.
Yeah. I found the matching process.
Sorry. Series of mind process happening.
Yeah.
Then we do good things with an previous mind.
Yeah.
And we can look at with the follow-up mind, another mind.
Yeah.
So we can observe our mind, our mental state,
Yeah.
which is earlier mental state, which is the root of our wholesome karma. Suppose if we are helping other people, out of compassion, then we can look at with another mind, which followed by that compassionate mind. Yeah, this is another mind have to observe earlier mind, whether we are doing with the joyous feeling or equanimous feeling, or with the prompted or unprompted, or absence of knowledge or presence of knowledge.
So we cannot observe the present mind with the present mind.
Oh, Pandit cannot. Because according to Abhidhamma, only one mind movement can arise at a time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So suppose right now we do we help other people with the compassionate mind. There's one mind movement. Then the follow-up mind movement, following mind, another this is another mind. So earlier mind became past one, of course.
Yeah.
So only the present mind can observe earlier mind.
Okay, thank you very much.
Even though we are talking, even though it look like we are talking in single mind, it's not like this. According to Abhidhamma, so there will be series of mental process,
Yeah.
So we are helping other people, or we are doing dana, we are observing sila with, how to say, different process of mind. With the, how to say, there will be series of mental process. Suppose we see suffering people with our eye, so there will be eye door process, eye door mind process. Then after that, there will be a lot of mental mind door process as well. Our mind think about that suffering people. Then we trying to determine to help them. So there are a lot of mind process will happen after that. And only after that, compassionate mind will arise in our mind. Then so that is the source of the origin of our wholesome karma. We try to help them.
Okay.
Then we can look at with another mind, follower mind. So we look at our mental state, which is the origin of our compassionate action. Okay, Bhante. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Bhante. Go to Kin. Hello, Go to Kin.
Yes, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, can hear.
Yes, good afternoon, Bhante.
Okay, good afternoon.
I'm confused by the numbers. You see, they are altogether 12. 12 sensitive, unwholesome chittas, right? But how come there are only 8 wholesome chittas? Wholesome, 8, but unwholesome we have 12.
We have more than 8. So we have other wholesome chitta as well. So later we have to learn.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, Teacher Lily.
Yes, good afternoon, Bhante.
Okay.
Question sent in, he said that related to the sense door process, what is your opinion on a perceptual phenomenon called synesthesia? Example of such cases are when a person can see flashes of colors, when musical notes are playing consistently, or with eyes closed, a person can tell the color of the food he eats. So it seems there are 2 sense consciousness active when one object is presented.
Teacher Lily, can you repeat again?
Uh,
Maybe you speak
the example,
a little bit. I want to say that please do not speak very close to the microphone.
okay.
Okay.
Is it better now?
Okay, I hear you. Yeah.
Okay. He's saying that related to the sense door process, what is your opinion on a perceptual phenomenon called synesthesia? Synesthesia. Synesthesia. The example that he gave is like when a person can see flashes of colors, when musical notes are playing consistently, or when this person closes the eyes, he can tell the color of the food that he eats. So it seems that there are 2 sense consciousness active when one object is presented.
Okay. Teacher Lily, maybe you make your own simple example for this, because
I
sorry
don't,
that I do not. Because
I don't really know what this person want to ask.
maybe
I asked him to ask instead of writing.
maybe I think that he or she, I think he went to ask whether two state of mind can happen at any time. Am I correct? He went to ask like this.
I think so.
Oh, sorry that the
Seems like
question.
two sense consciousness active when one object is presented, or when one object is present.
So that me why he is listening music, right? Music, and he can visualize,
See the colors.
see the color of the food.
No, that is when he closes his eyes. When he closes his eyes, and then he can see the color of the food that he's eating.
Maybe somebody. I think that he went to ask at the same time, at one time, two mental state can happen, can rise. So I think if I am wrong, so sorry that, and then I will answer that one. Actually, very often we say that only one mind moment arises at a time. Even though we are listening music, then ear consciousness, cities of ear consciousness will arise, then followed by mind process or mind thinking. So it doesn't mean that two mental state arise at a time. So so sorry that if I cannot, if I do not understand that one. I think some of the usage here, it is a technical term, just like a Celestia, right?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so I think, thank you, Teacher Lily. So I will let other person ask the question. Stay. Okay, Muhu.
Hi, good afternoon, Bhante.
Okay, good afternoon.
Sorry that I couldn't turn on my video. I have a question about this eight consciousness, and with regards to the not having the understanding of knowledge. So because when you gave the example about some people doing good things automatically, that means that that there's no presence of knowledge. But when I look at this current slide, it says the first example, there is knowledge when someone when someone does something spontaneously and with presence of knowledge. I find that these two cases has a very fine line, because this person may have the knowledge and do it automatically, and a person without knowledge and do it automatically. How do we tell the difference between these two?
Oh, please do not look at the English usage here. Spontaneously hear me. Actually, here the motivation is so strong that right away he will react. Right away he will react. But here, what I mean without knowledge, hear me. Without knowledge, hear me. How to say? Suppose here the first example, understanding that this is horse and deed. So after deciding this is horse and deed, he or she will right away will do horse and actions. So that is spontaneously me. It doesn't mean what I mean automatic mean. Some people have a compassionate nature. So their mind is very tender, very compassionate in nature since they were born. So when they see suffering people right away, automatic, without thinking, you know, without thinking. According to the genetic, maybe beautiful mind, or without thinking anything, whether this is a good one, whether this is a something we should do or we shouldn't do, without thinking anything, right away they will do it. But here, in this example, so Bhikkhu Bodhi used the word spontaneously. Spontaneously hear me, after deciding this is good things, right away he will do it. But here, I use the word automated. Some people, they will do good things with the, we can call it with the unconscious mind. Unconscious mind means without even thinking this is good things or bad things. Right away they will respond automatically. So that me, in that sense, absence of knowledge. Absence of knowledge. Sometimes the words are very tricky, very tricky. So here, Bhikkhu Bodhi used the word spontaneously without prompting for the unprompted mind. So when we look, for that reason, I gave a very clear definition regarding with prompted or unprompted. Do not look at, how to say, outer appearances. Just look at motivation or volition or effect. Here, so here, his motivation is so strong. Spontaneously, after deciding this is good things, spontaneously right away he will respond. So when we think about prompted and unprompted, just remember only two usage. Chetana, motivation. When you're doing good things, whether your motivation is very strong or very weak. Sometimes we do good things with the weak motivation. And also we can decide with the, especially motivation is the first one. Another one is how to say, effect. So sometimes we do good things with a full of effect and full of motivation. That is unprompted. Sometimes we do with the less motivation and less effect than prompted. Even for you, for me, I'm teaching, sometimes less motivation, sometimes less effect than prompted. Even though nobody forced me to do, you know, the situation is forcing me, then I, with the less motivation, less effort, I will teach sometime. And you can evaluate whether I'm doing with the prompted mind or unprompted mind. Sometimes I'm teaching with the full of motivation and full of effort, full of energy. Then looking at my energy, the way I teach, and also looking at my motivation, then you can decide whether I'm teaching with the prompted or unprompted. Sometimes, if you look at English usage, it will make you misunderstanding. Here, spontaneously hear me, after deciding, deciding this is a good thing to do, then right away he will respond to it. But here, what I'm talking, sometimes without without knowledge, without thinking this is good things, sometimes we do. So automated that we are doing many times. Sometimes if we are doing many times, without thinking this is good things, that is dissociated from knowledge according to Abhidhamma. But of course, when we look at deeper level of the mind, if you are doing good things, accompanied by right knowledge or right view. Okay, so Ari Helene.
Hi, good afternoon, Bhante.
Okay, afternoon.
Yeah, just a quick one, Bhante. Which one is more powerful in terms of doing associated with knowledge or dissociated with knowledge? Does the list of cheaters on the in the book or on the screen now shows actually the orders of which one is more powerful than the other one?
But of course, according to set commentary, the first one is the most powerful.
So the first one is always more powerful than the second one. Second one is more powerful than the third one. Is in that kind of order, is it?
Actually, we cannot say for sure, because as I earlier said that somebody is criticizing you, or somebody is insulting you in the office, then you are very mindful in your mind. You're very mindful, and you know what is happening at that moment. But you're very mindful. Because of that, no anger coming. Your mind is very stable. Then knowing that such unpleasant speeches, if you do not respond to them, it will finish. Knowing that. Then you tolerate. So the moment you practice patience to that person, your mind is not accompanied by joy. No? Definitely not accompanied by joy. Accompanied by equanimity. Here, equanimity here means it became spiritual equanimity. Your mind is not moved. Your mind is not shaken by their unpleasant speeches. So in that occasion, how to say that, accompanied by equanimity, associated with the knowledge, unprompted. So such mental state is more powerful than the first one. What we are talking about is the fifth one.
Yep.
The fifth mental state is sometimes more powerful than the first one. Sometimes we'll do whole something with a joyous feeling. But in general, what we are talking about is in akusala citta. We are actually in Abhidhamma talk about in general. So Abhidhamma make a conclusion that if we are doing akusala karma with equanimous mind, weaker. Our akusala citta is weaker. When we are doing unwholesome things with the joyous feeling, very strong, right? In akusala, joyous feeling is stronger. And also here, kama vachara kusala citta. In general, when we are doing good things with the joyous mind, happy mind, is stronger. But there is exception here. So when we are, especially when we are practicing spiritual equanimity from 4 Brahma Vihara, 4 sublime state, equanimous feeling is much more higher, because it is, how to say, it will generate, a lot of wisdom, a lot of energy to bear, our pleasant and unpleasant things when we encounter. So it's not, we cannot say for sure, but in general, so when we are doing kusala karma here with sense sphere level, joyous feeling is generally more powerful. But when we are talking about in the jhana citta, rupa and arupa cittas, so equanimity feeling is more powerful. The first jhana, second, third, fourth, accompanied by joy. accompanied by joy. But the fifth one is the most powerful one, accompanied by equanimity. So for that reason, when we talk about akusala and kusala, kusala and akusala in sense sphere level, joy feeling or joyous feeling is more powerful than equanimous feeling. Let's talk about in general. But when we talk about in rupa and arupa jhanas, equanimity feeling is more powerful. It's hard to say which one is more powerful, but in general, the first one is more powerful. Okay.
Thank you, Bhante.
A lot of question. Okay, maybe make a short question. Want to go?
Hi, Bhante.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
short question. So to follow up from just now, you're mentioning about equanimity and joy. So these two functions, you say it's sometimes it's strong, depends. How about sadness? Because example you give like in office, when someone's scolding you, most of the time you'll get stress and sadness instead of equanimity or joy, or we try to manage that way. So if we try to manage in sadness, what will it come under?
Sadness is under dosa mula cheda. So sadness is a part of hatred or anger. So you feel sad because you are senior or your boss will complain you or will tell you something bad. Then because of that, you are unable to respond to them. So you have to try not to respond. But anyway, in your mind, you feel sad, or you feel depressed, or you feel irritated in your mind. Then that means you don't like that situation. You don't like that situation. For that reason, we add under the how to say dosa mula cheda. So we have two dosa mula cheda, prompted and unprompted. But here we differentiate prompted and unprompted depends on the degree of your sadness. If your sadness is so strong, that is called unprompted. The weak, a little bit of sadness, then that can be called prompted. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, the last question, Teacher Lily.
Bhante, this person was asking two questions.
Oh,
What is
maybe only one question.
okay? If what is the consciousness if someone doing wholesome deed with some agitation in the mind, even though with knowledge and prompted?
Hesitation me prompted. Prompted me a lot of hesitation.
Agitation. They mean not willing to do it. Agitation.
Agitation. So that means he is doing good deed. Agitation, right?
Yeah, because somebody arrow him to do. Not.
Oh, okay. There are many occasions like this in our life, right?
Yes.
Sometimes we don't have any motivation to do that, but somebody force you to do, or a situation force you to do. Then, so there are, as we earlier said that, so there are a lot of mind process involved in a situation. So somebody force you to do good things, but you don't want that, and you agitate that fast in your mind. So agitation is dosa mula cheda. At the time, dosa mula cheda, the cheda rooted in hatred will arise in our mind. So we hate to do that, but a situation compares to do or force you to do that. Even though you have agitation, even though you don't like somebody force you to do, then you still do it. The moment you give away, that is kusala. But that kusala is followed by that kusala is how to say we call it before the kusala cheta, we have awesome in the state, akusala cheta, and after that kusala cheta and akusala cheta again. So actually in the fifth chapter, so we will have to learn that one. So such type of wholesome karma is, we call it omaka kusala. How to say inferior wholesome karma, because so that kusala karma is followed by akusala cheta, and also how to say the precedent by akusala cheta. So for that reason, such one is called inferior kusala karma. Still considered as a kusala karma, but so earlier, before you do dana, you do good deed, irritation or anger or dislike, akusala cheta. Then after doing good kusala karma, and also here agitation again, irritation again, akusala cheta. So we have to understand. So there are a series of mental states involved. Before we do kusala karma, akusala cheta. Then after doing kusala karma, then akusala cheta again. Okay, so then we still have another 15 minutes, and I will go to I will continue. Then I hope that you understand a type of mahakusala karmas, mahakusala chetas. So when we are doing, wherever we do good things, wherever we say good things, wherever we think good things, we are doing with a type of chetas, especially before you become sotapanna, before you become non-returner, before you become once returner or arahants. We are always doing, even non-returner. So for that reason, we say that these eight type of chetas will arise in the minds of Putojana or worldlings, normal passing, in the minds of trainees. Here, trainees mean the one who need training. Actually, seven type of people. But in summary, Sotapanna, Sakadagami, and Nagami. Whenever they do good things, based on their senses, that is called Kama Vachara Kusala Cheta. So when we are doing good things, we have to look at our mind based on three principles. Our feeling, look at our feeling. Accompanied by joy or accompanied by equanimity. Look at your knowledge, absence of knowledge or presence of knowledge. And look at degree of your motivation, whether prompted or unprompted. Okay, so now we are talking about vipaka. Earlier we are talking about kusala. Kusala is wholesome things, wholesome chetas. But here we are talking about vipaka, reset. After you do kusala karma, you will have vipaka karma. Vipaka. If you do wholesome things based on one of the 8 type of kusala karma, and you will have a type of vipaka chetas. Here we call it 8 Kamavachara Vipaka Chetas. Vipaka Chetas. Sense sphere, resultant consciousness. I think if you look at Pali word, you might think that it's very difficult to remember. But very easy, very easy. The rest are the same. Only difference here, Vipaka. Vipaka. You can substitute Kusala as a Vipaka. Kamavachara Vipaka Cheta, sense sphere, resultant consciousness. And also we call it Mahavipaka. Mahavipaka. Great resultant. 8 Kamavachara Vipaka Chetas are the result of Kamavachara Kusala Chetas. So they are the result of Kusala Chetas. So if you have done, so the first type of Cheta, the first type of Kusala Cheta, then you will experience the first type of resultant Chetas or Vipaka Cheta. So actually we can call it a similar effect, similar effect. Suppose and you have done some good deed with the accompanied by joy, associated with the knowledge and prompted, the first type of Kusala Cheta. And because of that Kusala Cheta, you was born in this life. In this life. So you are rebirth linking consciousness. You are rebirth linking consciousness will be the first type of Vipaka Cheta. Vipaka Chetas are accompanied by joy, associated with knowledge and prompted. So we can call it similar result. Here we use the word sahetuka, sahetuka. To differentiate then from ahetuka kusala vipaka chetas. Ahetuka kusala vipaka chetas. I hope you still remember we have 8 ahetuka kusala vipaka chetas. So as a result of wholesome karma, you will see wholesome things, you will hear wholesome sounds, you will smell wholesome smell, you will taste wholesome taste, and you will experience wholesome touch. And your mind have to receive wholesome things. Then 2 types of investigating, altogether 8. So these resultant Cheta also arises as a result of Kusala Karma, Maha Kusala Karma. Maha Kusala Karma. Here, two category. Mahavipaka and all here Ahetuka Kusala Vipaka. 2 category. So here to differentiate from Ahetuka, rootless, Kusala Vipaka Chetas. So current Vipaka Chetas are described as Sahetuka. Sahetuka. Kamavachara Vipaka Chetas. So Sahetuka means with the root. But here, with the beautiful root. Aloba, Adosa, Amoha. Okay, so then I think if you look at here, it will be clear. Ahetuka, rootless. Kusala Vipaka Cheta. So in the Ahetuka Chetas, we have Kusala Vipaka Chetas, 8 Kusala Vipaka Chetas. But here also Vipaka Chetas. But here we call it Sahetuka, with the root. Either Aloba, Adosa, Amoha. One of them. Sahetuka, Kamavachara, Vipaka Chetas are these 2, two type of Vipaka Chetas are the result of 8 Kamavachara Kusala Chetas. So earlier we talked about Mahakusala Cheda, right? 8 Mahakusala Cheda, or 8 Kamavachara Kusala Chedas. So because of those Kusala Chedas, we will have Vipaka Chedas. So 2 types of Vipaka Cheda, 2 types. One is Ahetuka, the other one is Sahetuka. Ahetuka means rootless, Sahetuka means with the root. So these Ahetuka Vipaka and Sahetuka Vipaka are the result of Kusala Karma. Then after doing some good deed with the Kusala Chedas, and you will have a wholesome result. Sorry, you have a resultant Chedas called Vipaka Cheda. 2 types. One is Ahetuka, rootless. Another one is Sahetuka, with the root. But these 2 types of resultant Chedas have different functions. Suppose, I think in the third chapter, we will have to learn different type of functions. Here, I will make it a little bit easier way to explain. Suppose you do wholesome things. Suppose you are always nice to people in your family. You are very compassionate, full of love. The way you talk is very pleasant to the family members. So that is Kusala Karma. So as a result of that Kusala Karma, you will have Vipaka Chedas. So you will have to see pleasant people. You are family member, will be very pleasant to see. Because you have done good things. You are treating them with the full of love, full of compassion. The way you talk, the way you express your face is very, very nice to them. Because of that, and you will have a resultant Chedas, a good result. You will have to see pleasant people. So they are pleasant to you. They will not show anger. They will not show jealousy to you. And you will have to hear pleasant song, etc. etc. So these are the result of, we have 8 Ahetuka, rootless, Kusala Vipaka Cheda. Kusala means wholesome karma, Vipaka means result. As a result of wholesome karma, you will have Ahetuka Kusala Vipaka Chedas. Then you treat your family nicely, with a full of love, full of compassion. And you are the last stop moment is you die with such beautiful mental state. Next life, you are rebirth consciousness, will be Sahetuka, with the root. And you are rebirth consciousness will be Kamavachara Vipaka Cheda, resultant Cheda. As a result of beautiful actions or beautiful Kusala Karma, just before you die, then you were well born. You were well born with the beautiful mental state. As a result of wholesome karma, that is called Vipaka. So the first type of rebirth linking consciousness will be Vipaka Cheda. Then after that, after rebirth linking consciousness, there will be series of life continuum life continuing. Then after you have a very good rebirth consciousness, the next life continuing chatas also will be good. Actually, rebirth linking consciousness and life continuing, they are the same type of mental state. So when your rebirth linking consciousness is good, those who were born with associated with joy, the whole life your mental state will be associated with the joy. Those who were born associated with knowledge, so the whole life they will be very intelligent. Some people are intelligent because of genetic or rebirth linking consciousness, and you are life continuing also all the time, the same type of consciousness. And also when you die this life, the quality of your death consciousness also will be the same. The quality of your consciousness, those who are intelligent right now, and since their rebirth consciousness and their death consciousness also, the quality also will be high. But that mind will take the object, the less object. If our mental state at the last moment of our this life is good, and wholesome kusala karma, then your next rebirth also will be good. Even though you are so intelligent, then if you are the last moment is not good, then the rebirth linking consciousness in next life will not be good. So here, what I want to say is, so we have a two, even though we do kusala karma, two type of resultant chatas. So when ahituka, rootless, so that can experience in this life, we will see good things, we will hear good things. That is a resultant chatas. Then after doing kusala karma, wholesome things, next life, and we will have a rebirth linking consciousness, a good rebirth linking consciousness, a good life continuum, a good death consciousness. Another one is called retention or registrations. So actually, vipaka chatas, in other one here, Mahavipaka, that we are going to learn, that we are learning now is 4 functions. It will make 4 functions. One, rebirth linking function. So it will arise as a rebirth linking. So the first cheta in our life. Second, life continuum. Third one, death consciousness. And the last one is registrations. So vipaka cheta that we are going to learn as a sahetuka cheta is make 4 functions. But here, ahituka cheta, when we after doing good things, and we will also have ahituka cheta, rootless vipaka cheta. And it functions. So we have a different function, seeing function. We're seeing good things, hearing function, smelling function, tasting function, touching function, receiving, investigating, different function. Even though they are the result of kusala karma, kusala chetas, they have a different function. Then I hope you understand, right? Understand. And time is up. Somebody want to ask. Maybe I will allow him to ask. Sumana Lin.
Yeah, Bhante?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to ask the kusala, why kusala we have vipaka, but akusala has no vipaka. Only rootless. There's no. You can hear me?
Sorry, can you repeat your question?
For kusala, we have 8 vipaka, right?
Okay.
But for the 12 akusala, we don't have 12 vipaka for akusala. Why we don't have? Why we don't have 12 vipaka citta for akusala?
So actually, this is Abhidhamma. This is Abhidhamma. In Theravada, we have 89 chaitas. 89 chaitas. And other schools, they also have Abhidhamma. So they have a different number of chaitas. But here, according to Theravada Abhidhamma, but of course, if we do kusala karma, we will have vipaka, 8 type of vipaka. After doing 8 type of kusala chaitas, we will have a type of vipaka chaitas, and also we will have another ahituka, a type of vipaka chaita. Regarding with akusala, we have only ahituka kusala vipaka, right? Ahituka kusala vipaka. We don't have sahituka. So the reason is, according to Theravada Abhidhamma, after doing akusala karma, you will see unwholesome thing, you will hear unwholesome sound, etc. So these are called ahituka akusala vipaka, right? But regarding with rebirth linking, life continuing, and death consciousness, and registrations or retention, another two chaitas from ahituka akusala vipaka. So one is one is a investigating chaitas accompanied by equanimity, and another one is investigating chaita accompanied by joy. So these 2 chaitas will make a function of rebirth linking, function of life continuing, and function of death consciousness, and function of registrations. So according to Theravada Abhidhamma, so regarding with these four functions, so we don't need so many. For that reason, so 2 investigating chaitas, one accompanied by equanimity, one accompanied by joy. So they make a function of four functions. Rebirth linking, life continuing, death consciousness, and also the registrations. So we don't need so many. For that reason, Abhidhamma will not make another list. So for that reason, that's only one two mental state. So for that reason, it will not Theravada Abhidhamma will not make another separate list. Okay, so I hope you you satisfy the question. But of course, this is many people ask that question. So this is a very complicated one, and also very difficult to answer that one. But remember that this is Abhidhamma. Abhidhamma is formulated by, according to commentary, this is formulated by the Buddha, and also actually the current Abhidhamma that we are learning is taught by Venerable Sariputta. So for that reason, so it is different. We have a different Abhidhamma. Theravada, we have Theravada Abhidhamma, and Mahayana, especially Sapativara, they have their own Abhidhamma. And also we have a Yogacara, they have their own Abhidhamma. So those Abhidhamma are not taught by the Buddha himself directly. But of course, these are explained by his disciples. For that reason, so we cannot make, we cannot, how to say, sometimes it's difficult to reconcile or to fit into the teachings of the suttas. So just like the question you did. So some people, especially who have a very deep thinking, they will ask such a tricky questions. So don't think too much. Don't think too much. I will say that. So there are some something that we cannot give a very, how to say, satisfactory answers. So if you are looking at those satisfactory, how to say, those difficult, how to say, the question in the Abhidhamma, if you are doing it with the, how to say, I would say that with the thinking that you really want to know is good. But some of the things in Abhidhamma, and then even though you may not have a satisfactory answer, don't worry. Actually, do not think so much. So there are some some statement in the Abhidhamma that may not, how to say, cannot be reconciled with the teachings of the suttas. For that reason, I always say that in general we are talking. So even earlier question, is it the first type of kusala citta is stronger or the other way around? So when we are talking about in general, of course, the first one is strongest. But there are some occasions, so that are very strong, even though this is not number one. So I think if we have a such understanding, it will be better. Okay, so I think, so sorry that we take another 10 minutes more. So let's close our lesson. Yo varatam romanu jesu satya muni bhagavata kecho aragato balang hidiyasana dan sukatan sarana Muni Rakami Rakama Javasasoka Masasaka Aditi Atacha Ogala Dhammata Sati Sangha Iman Saranatamupe Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay.